Okay, I was talking to Zen Thug. He ran into what's called a good girl, and he ran a little bit too fast. Good girls, you got to go slower with them because they're about relationships. All right, you got to build relationships with them, and the girls, that you want to go after are more of the freak types, and that's where you get to the nightclubs. Because remember, that's where I did most of my game was nightclubs. I met a lot of girls in the nightclubs. I did meet girls in the daytime, and usually in the daytime they end up being, well, actually one was a freak. I'd call. I'm thinking back to the last time I met someone. Met a girl at a gas station a couple years ago. She was a freak. Starbucks freak. Wow, bookstore, Borders, good girl. But I tend to attract more of the freakier types of girls. And when I say freaky, I'm not talking butt nasty, want to toss my salad freaks, but girls that are a little bit, uh, they want a relationship, but they also enjoy sex a lot. Okay? And they know how to play the game. So, Zinthug, you got your first kiss. I'm proud of you. You you live at home. She lives at home. You could have actually had your first girlfriend. And God, that's why I don't think my channel's for virgins. You know, because you broke it off with someone you could have potentially lost your V card to, and having sex with a decent girl the first time is actually a great way to go. It's a beautiful way to go. You know, experiencing your first love, your first relationship. Um, that's a great way to go. I'm afraid of virgins getting into this whole player mindset and never experiencing the joy of being in love, experience the joy of having a relationship with a woman. And that presents a problem for me and my channel. I think I need to put a requirement that you've had to have had at least one relationship. But I realize a lot of virgins come to me because I help build your confidence, and I've helped a lot of guys, get their first lay. But I do urge you to actually try to experience a relationship too, because even when you're trying to play the game, you're a player. You got girls on your team. You actually are in a relationship with them. So that's why a player always has his main girlfriend, and then he has satellites around him. That's the way normal players do it. Some players, they just keep a string of women. They don't have any main girl. And I tried to live that way for a while. Okay. I got tired of feeling the emotional pain of bad breakups. Like when I let a girl in too close and I'm out still doing my thing. And she's hurt, so I'm hurt. Okay. And I feel the pain of loss. Like the last one was the German girl. The pain of loss, yeah. Anyway, let me go on to my next piece of mail here. Good girls like nice guys. Hey, dude, I'm a female. Ah, we got a woman writing to me. Okay, your videos can be a little sexist from time to time, and the advice doesn't seem like it would work a lot of the time with what you call the good girl type. And you are very right in some areas or in some of your thinking. Actually, good girls do like strong males. They do chase after jocks. I don't know about you, but plenty of good girls do chase after jocks. She writes, jocks repel us. Possessive guys repel us. Well, possessive guys repel everybody, even themselves. Overly confident men repel us, and I disagree with that because I have dated good girls too. It probably repels you. If you want to get on Skype, we can talk about it. I would love to have a conversation with you and have you explain to me what it is that you like in men. Okay? Maybe you should tell them how to land a good girl. If you don't know, I could explain. The female, okay, female population. Okay, Shannon, I'll take you up on that. I would like for you to explain to me how to get a good girl. And I'm actually with one now, but let's go ahead and send you my Skype. And I encourage you to contact me and we can have a conversation on this, which I'll record and share with the fellas. Okay? Let's see. Because I always believe in listening, as I say, when it comes from the horse's mouth, I'll sit up and listen and pay attention. And I think you're referring to overly confident men as being ass. I think you're talking about assholes. And I don't encourage guys to be assholes, but to have real confidence. Cocky, I'm not down for the cocky shit. That came out with that one dude, cocky but funny dude, Evan Pagan. That's his real name. And he's an internet marketer. He's actually a very big internet marketer. Makes about 20 million a year. And he actually gives classes on how to become a good internet marketer. Evan Pagan goes by the name of David D. Angelo. And he started this, that's a fake name he created because I think he's of Jewish descent. And he decided to use an Italian name because that, Italian stallion, that kind of thing. David D'Angelo, it just sounded cool to him, which was a very good idea. Evan Pagan just may not sell as good as, the name Evan Pagan may not sell as good as, David D'Angelo. But he has that whole system called Cocky But Funny. And I read it when I got on the internet. I actually paid money for that book and read it. I didn't go on file sharing, download. I didn't know anything about file sharing. And anyway, I got that book and read it and said, oh, this is that old shitting on a female thing. Where the players in the 70s say, you got to act better than cocky, tease them, put them down a little bit. And that's what he got, and he coined that stuff, called it Cocky But Funny, changed the name of it, and sold it to white dudes and made a lot of money. Very, very intelligent man, very smart marketer. He went to the player game and saw what they were doing, and saw the attitude that players had and all that kind of stuff. He talks about it in his book, and his sales page and all that kind of stuff. And he made a lot of money. He even got some of my money on it. I think it was called Double Your Dating back then. Double Your Dating. Interesting title also. I can't put it down because this man made $20 million off the same market that I'm talking to and the entire whole niche. This was before pickup artists were around. Before they got coined themselves as pickup artists. After him, Mystery came out. And then after Mystery came out, every Tom, Dick, and Harry start doing shit in this community. We got one, I think he's a homosexual dude. He talks about, acting like a homosexual, to get women. And I don't see that as being a viable tool either. I'm from the old school. As I said in the last show, I was on a conference call with internet marketers, and they were talking about getting into the dating niche. And one fellow brought up the gay crowd is a big market, but you got to be. They're saying how in that crowd you got to be gay because you got to know the lingo. You got to have a certain feeling about you. When you go into these forums, stuff like that. And someone was promoting, and I said, I'm old school. I'm from the old school. Before gays came out the closet, so I wouldn't sell. I wouldn't feel comfortable in that niche. And it's amazing how many people, gravitate to the dating niche or niche just to make a bunch of money, who have no real experience with dating. Like one fella said, he wrote a book after meeting style, and I guess he said he was good at dating. But it takes me back to another fellow that writes books in this community, and he lives at home with his mama, and his fantasy is to be able to travel the United States to go to different hot dog vendors. Yeah, some weird people with weird fetishes. But I guess my fetishes are kind of weird people too. I like to watch uh, old cartoons, stuff like that. My dad came over yesterday. I had Jovina pick him up because I don't speak to my moms. I don't go to her house either. I had Jovina pick up my dad and bring him over here. I haven't seen him all summer since I finally blew up at my mother figure. And we sat here and we watched old Get Smart episodes and had a great old time laughing like we were when I was a kid. When I was a kid, we used to watch Get Smart back in the 60s before Japan. And we watched the Roadrunner shows and all that kind of stuff. My dad, he's always loved that kind of stuff. I've always loved that kind of stuff. So I got into stuff like that at an early age because it bonded me to my father. And it reminds me of the bonding of my father and I. So that's why my one old or maybe weird fetish. There are grown men that are into collecting action figures, and I met a man that collects everything. Like he has a warehouse, and he's collected every lunch pail out there. He's collected every train. He's collected, this is way past comic book collections. To have a warehouse, and apparently he's done voiceovers. He's done acting and stuff like that. So he's got a lot of money, but he lives with his mama. Even though he's in his 60s, has a girlfriend. She's got into collecting. He's got every Barbie doll ever put out. He takes his money and invests in all these weird things. Weird stuff. On the call, there's also, I noticed that Caucasian males can be kind of strange. They had something called DD, some game. I'd never heard of it. DDR, DD something or another, where you role play and stuff like that. And I'd never heard of this stuff. It's a Caucasian male thing from the 80s and 90s. I've heard of Dungeons and Dragons. And I've seen people playing it, and I've even seen black guys, these what we call Uncle Tom type of black guys, playing it with these Caucasian fellas and stuff like that. But whatever your fetish is, I guess you got it. Whatever weirdness you got going on. So that's my weirdness. Always been an anime lover because I used to live in Japan, and I got into anime over there, and I just watched it. And after I got married, I continued to watch cartoons with my kids, like my father did with me. And as I said to my fellows on my forum, I started taking Tuesday nights off from women just to be with myself, and I would rent movies, or I had a little black box thing or a box thing that I got from a lady friend that allowed me to get cable on it. Even though I had cable in my front room but not in my back room, and I would sit there and watch. They had Asian night. I sit there and watch the Asian cartoons and make myself microwave popcorn, get myself some candy, just have fun by myself, doing things that I enjoy doing and getting away from the females. But whatever your fetish is, or whatever your weird thing you got going on, you got to learn to enjoy it and not be ashamed of it. Peace, fellas.